Alright folks, ladies and gentlemen, gentle viewers, welcome back to Let's Play Romance of the Three Kingdoms 11. This is Mysterious JG. Thanks for coming back after what was probably a dreadfully boring first video. But we're still playing through these tutorial videos, folks, because I think that if you're going to follow what's going on at all, unless you already know this game, if I try to explain as I go too much when I start playing the game itself, it's just going to really drag things out. So let's keep going with this. Again, as I said before, this is a game that's set in ancient China, and it's warring factions trying to unite the land under one rule. It's sort of at the fall of the Han Empire. The thing about this game, like when Bobo was playing Aerobiz Supersonic, he was able to tell you a lot of interesting facts about what was going on. He'd be playing in, the game would be in 1978, and he would tell you about neat things that happened in 1978. This game is pretty much going to move around from about 200 AD to about maybe 260 AD. I don't think it goes any later than that. I don't know, maybe it does, but it's I really am not going to be able to say 268 AD. Hey, a top movie in 268 AD was Back to the Future. I mean, I'm not going to be able to throw neat pop culture facts at you, so we're pretty much going to have to stick with the semi-hysterical stuff here. But anyway, let's move along. Now, in our last video, Guan Yu kind of stared down his nose at us a bit when we were too stupid to figure out how the heck markets and stuff worked. But we got there eventually, thanks to the help of our sworn oath brother, Guan Yu. I'll talk about the sworn oath brothers eventually, I'm sure. But now, Cao Cao / Cow Cow / Cocoa Puffs, the closest thing that he's kind of the villain for most of the novel, although like historians tend to point out that in actual history he was a much more rounded character than the novel, where he's basically just Mr. Evil. But he was like possibly the shrewdest guy in China, and he and Liu Bei were sworn enemies for a very long time, but early on they were friends, and that's kind of the period that we're in right now. We are going to learn the basics of military preparedness, controlling Liu Bei, hunted by Lu Bu, and now under the protection of Cao Cao. Let Cao Cao be your guide on such issues as how to go about mustering soldiers, what armaments are, and what is needed to produce them. Your goal is to be prepared enough to be able to stand up to Lu Bu of GP. Let Cao Cao be your guide, and let a smile be your umbrella, folks. So let's do it. Of course, someday, as anyone who's played Dynasty Warriors will know, the land will belong to Cow Cow! Military basics. Cow Cow, thanks for your help. Lu Bu just won't listen to reason. Even though we gave him Zhu province, he still betrayed us and attacked. What a dick, huh? Oh, from what I heard, the reason was that Zhang Fei stole his war horses. Yeah, in the novel, Lu Bu and Zhang Fei don't get along. There's good reason for this. Lu Bu is basically waiting to betray the three brothers at any chance. First chance he gets, he's going to betray them. But like a true Confucian gentleman would, not go around sticking it in Lu Bu's face that he'd killed every master he'd ever worked for and was, out for himself at all times. So, but Zhang Fei was kind of a lout. He was kind of a common man. And in a modern reader of the novel, actually, in several episodes, find Zhang Fei to be pretty freaking cool. This is the only one who wasn't bound by, really sort of formal Confucian politeness and stuff. But he and Lu Bu were constantly in each other's face, and one night Zhang Fei got drunk, and he was going around, passing around wine to officers, and an officer who was related to Lu Bu wouldn't drink with him, so he beat the crap out of the guy. And Lu Bu basically used that as an excuse to seize the city and kick out the three brothers. And in true Confucian style, afterwards he told Liu Bei how terribly sorry he was that this had happened, but that now that he had the city, his honor would not let him give it back to Liu Bei as much as he'd like to. It's very much a novel full of people saying one thing when they mean something else. But anyway, at this point, Liu Bei and his forces have been kicked out of the city. They're blaming Zhang Fei for it, and it is Zhang Fei's fault, but at the same time, Lu Bu was always going to betray them. That's the backstory here. And now they've fallen under the protection of Cao Cao, who has not yet decided that Liu Bei is a true threat, as he will decide in fairly short order. But back to our tutorial. What? Nonsense, I heard no such thing, but Lu Bu is a dangerous man, and he can't be allowed to roam free. Very well. Lu Bu has been something of a thorn in my side as well. A starving wolf like him is best dispatched as soon as possible. You're my only hope, Cao Cao. Cao Cao, you're my only hope. You must get to Alderaan. How are we going to stand up to Lu Bu? Well, old Cao Cao here will teach you everything, I reckon. You need to know about fighting. Listen careful. Excellent. I knew I could count on you. Liu Bei is a crafty one. I don't have any intention of showing him all of my secrets. Oh! What the? Where did that lightning come from? You scared me half to death! Well, maybe it wasn't such a big deal after all. It might have even been a coincidence. What? Yeah, no, there's a sequence in the novel about lightning, and that was a very weird way to interject it. There's a scene in the novel where Liu Bei and Cao Cao are drinking together, and Cao Cao basically is he's like the most important dude in the land. He's like the prime minister. He's running the show, and he's decided, or Liu Bei intends to like overthrow Cao Cao eventually, or to restore the Han, because he thinks that Cao Cao is a usurper. But he technically works for Cao Cao, and he doesn't want to call attention to himself. So one evening, when Cao Cao calls him over to have some drinks and hang out, Liu Bei is kind of concerned that he's about being summoned to a trap, and Liu Bei and Cao Cao drink together, and Cao Cao famously asks Liu Bei, Liu Bei, in this land today there are but two true heroes. Can you name them? And in the novel, Liu Bei lists off a bunch of people, warlords throughout the land, and Cao Cao one by one points out how they're, losers and jobbers, and he's going to take them all out, no problem. And eventually Liu Bei is forced to say, I lack the wisdom to make such a judgment. At which point Cao Cao says, the two most able men are you and I. And Liu Bei panics because he thinks Cao Cao is about to kill him because he thinks that he's a threat. But then, there's a lightning storm going on, and when Liu Bei knocks over his cup in shock, he covers by saying, oh, I'm startled because of the lightning, ha ha ha. And Cao Cao is like, oh, okay. Whatever, he gets scared by lightning, I can see that. And then, he goes off and goes to bed because he's been drinking and he's, getting a little tipsy. And there's more to the story, I suppose. But basically, there's this incident that's supposed to be really important where the two most powerful men in the kingdom are right there, sitting there sharing a drink. The whole world could have been different if Liu Bei was dragged off and executed, or if Cao Cao had been stabbed or something. But it didn't happen. Instead, everyone got drunk and they all went home. The end. In any case, we must build up the forces in Zhuchang and prepare to fight Lu Bu's army. To build up your military, you'll need both troops and armaments. Let's start with the troops. We're going to build up barracks and then recruit troops, right? I know what's happening. I'm good. Oh, you already know, do you? Just call me the master. Dumbass. Anyway, you could use the recruit command, dumbass, once per turn for each barracks in the city. So to get a lot of troops at once, I'm going to need a lot of barracks. Indeed. Now then, let's try it, shall we? There is a barracks here in Zhuchang, so we'll use that to recruit troops. You'll want to put an officer with high charisma in charge of recruitment, since it will be more effective that way. Alright, so we've got, our order's only 83. That's not that hot, Cao Cao. What kind of city are you running here? But we got loads of officers, so let's, all we can do is recruit. They're not going to let us build any facilities yet. And they won't let us, they're just going to make us recruit. We can't do anything else. So let's let Cao Cao, Jun Yu, and Bian Shi, the first female we've seen in this game. She is, I believe, Cao Cao's wife. Let's let them recruit some troops. Recruiting something. I didn't get to read it. Alright! Now we can fight against Lu Bu. Let's get going. Come on, Liu Bei. You can't be that stupid. Wait, Liu Bei! You're getting ahead of yourself. Newly recruited troops will have low will. Will 73 of 120. You'll need to drill them well. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty sexy, Cao Cao. You need to drill them well to turn them into competent troops, or Lu Bu's force will easily defeat them. That's not really true. There are certain special techniques you can do, like ambushes, surprise attacks, fire attacks, whatever, and your troops need will to execute them. Otherwise, if you just want to go out and use regular attacks, I don't think will does anything. It might have an invisible effect on, like, there's random number generation in this game. So, like, how much damage you inflict, how much damage you receive, will might affect that in some invisible way. But I'm pretty sure it's just basically its MP, and techniques are magic spells in this game, for all intents and purposes. Drill them, eh? Alright, let's do it. I love drilling men. Drilling is a military activity, so putting an officer with a high war attribute in charge will increase the troops' will more effectively. And now we probably don't have a choice, we have to drill. They won't let us do anything else. Okay. But we've got Juju, Jianwei, and Jihao Yuan, all characters from Dynasty Warriors, because that game very heavily favors the big brawly military types. So let's drill the troops. Yes, their will increased. Now they can fight against Lu Bu's troops. Let's get going then. Liu Bei. As much as I wish this tutorial was over. I told you to wait! We're not finished yet. Now listen. When you perform the recruit command, the city's order will greatly decrease. Why? When a city's order goes down, so does its revenue, and bandits can also appear. So be careful. Make sure you use the inspections command to increase order whenever you recruit troops. I see. He certainly does like to be thorough. He's thorough yet gentle. After you've recruited your troops, you need to arm them. There are many kinds of armaments, and there are many types of pie. Like spears, pikes, horses, and towers, flamethrowers, machine guns, and helicopters. A unit without any armaments will be a swordsman unit, but they're too weak to even consider. I mean, they suck. They're too weak to be much use, so you'll definitely want to arm your troops. Like I said in the last video, folks, you see swordsmen coming out of a city, that basically means that they're completely unprepared, and you should be able to wipe the floor with them. They have to outnumber you by a lot before sword troops are in danger. So all went to develop workshops, stables, smiths, and shipyards. Sorry. In order to produce armaments, right? Yes, very good. Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe you are capable of listening and parroting back simple commands. Just call me the master. Right. Anyways, it's time to try it. Zhuchang has a number of facilities already built. If you want to beat Lu Bu, you'll need horses and rams. Try making some of those. Rams? Are we gonna, like, actually attack a city? I didn't think we were attacking a city. Horses are produced at stables and rams at workshops. Is that right? Right. Just like... Yes! Now die! And just like with the recruit command, you can produce armaments once for each facility you have. First, try producing some war horses. If you give this command to an officer with high intelligence, int, it won't take as long, and you'll produce more as well. Oh, so like Zhuge Liang has the power to generate horses in incredible speed. Okay, sure. And again, we have to go with outfit. It won't let us plot our own course here. I would like to build some other facilities, but we probably don't really have time to mess with it. So let's let Guojia, Junyu, and Liu Ye do the job. Guojia and Junyu, both important strategists who, like, they tend to show up a lot as generic officers in Dynasty Warriors, and they're in the novel, but I can't pronounce their names, so let's move on. Production of the... whatever. I can never read those. Alright, I've got more war horses now. Next come the rams. Now, how do you make those again? Same exact way, Liu Bei. You do outfit. And, oh, it didn't even let me pick which one I wanted. It just went straight to rams. So, Chang Yu, Ji Kai, and Man Chong. He's not... it's... sorry, I lost it. I had a great joke I was going to go with. This is made for a man Chong, but women Chong like it too. And now we've got... What's wrong? I can't do it. Hey, Cao Cao, there's something wrong. This command is broken or something. I still help Liu Bei. Don't be stupid. It takes time to produce weaponry and ships, that's all. Oh, I see. How long will it take for the ram to be completed? Well, a few days, I suppose, and you can only make one at a time, too. Rams are a pain in the butt. Towers can be really useful because they're useful against troops and, you know, cities. Walls, but rams pretty much only useful against city walls. Yeah, so they are incredibly useful there, but otherwise of very limited use. Only one? That seems like a big waste of time. But you only need one of them for an entire unit, so it's In a way, they're a pretty good deal, but only in a way that is wrong. Now that you've learned much about military matters, you shouldn't have anything to fear from Lu Bu. Now let's go and fight! I told you to wait! You've only learned the basics. I want you to put what you've learned into action. Chen Liu will be your advanced base. Build up a force there. Prepare 10,000 troops with a will of 90 or more, 10,000 crossbows, and 1 ram. Oh, okay. What? But I want to hurry up and beat Lu Bu. Understandable, Liu. You have a half a year to make your preparations. If you can't do it, well, let's just say that it'll be interesting. What a dick. Alright, so in half a year or less, we have to prepare all that stuff. So we gotta make crossbows, rams, and train our troops up. Alright, we've got 8,000 troops. So we only need 3,000, or 2,000 more. I can't do math at all, can I? We need 2,000 more. We don't want to let our will drop too low. We really don't have time to develop facilities, which sucks. I'd love to develop some facilities. That's what I'm really waiting to do, folks. But let's recruit some troops. We will get enough just on this one turn. These soldiers will something, 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 something. How many crossbows have we got? We've got pikes. We need 25,000 bows. Or 2,500 bows. This will be enough to do it. We've only got 2 officers left, so let's just do some drilling. And then we'll put our very best people to work building a ram, which I should have done earlier, really, but... Please command us as you see fit. Alright, put on a pink frilly tutu and dance around. Guan Yu, why don't you do that, huh? Huh? Yeah. Alright. Outfit. Let's make a ram. It will take 60 days. In the meantime, I've got enough... I believe I have enough troops to satisfy the requirements. I said 10,000, right? This is the glossary. I thought I was going to look at the... objective. Yeah, 10,000, 90 will, 10,000 crossbows, and a ram. Alright, well, let's make sure we get our will up to 90, and then I can have people building stuff just for the hell of it. And I've only got 2 guys left, so what the heck, let's do some inspections. I really should have gotten people to work building that ram on the first turn. Oh well, what you gonna do? My soldier's will is still at 90, so let's build something. Why not? What do we got? We got 1 market, no farms. Yeah, if this was a long-term game, this town would be screwed. We'd need to get some markets and stuff going pronto. Get a farm going here. That would leave me some room to put a granary in there if I so chose. But right now, of course, all I'm really going to do is wait for those rams to kick in so that this we can move on to the next whatchamacallem thing where you play and they teach you tutorial. Yes. Remember, JG, use your words. Okay. Oh, yeah, now those guys are going to be stuck building a farm for the next 30 turns because I chose people who suck at building. Let that be a lesson to you folks. Might as well just keep improving the order. Seems to be a lot of complaints have piled up. We've got lots and lots of masked criminals in ridiculous outfits to defeat Zhang Fei. And so on. Hey, the development of the farm is complete, and it is now our turn to act. Let's build another farm. Because the people are clearly starving. Guess in theory I could build a shipyard. But we're not building a shipyard, folks. We're building farms. And other people are going to do inspections. Seems a lot of complaints have piled up, mostly about my body odor. And eventually that ram will pop up and this will be over. It is your turn to act. It's cold. And the music changes. There's some really nice music in this game. Search. Under these circumstances, there's little chance that, yeah, your officers all suck. Let's not do that. Who can we employ? No, it's like 50 days away. Yeah, these are people that we could try to go employ, but, no, it's a tutorial mission. Let's stick with what we're meant to be doing. Let's drill, because, you know, hey, I'm supposed to have their will at least 90. Why not make it 100, as long as we're just waiting around? It is now your turn to get me some liquor. How much longer on those frickin' rams, guys? Let's get another market going. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need another market. Let's get a market going here. We can put a mint here, or we can put a market here and a mint here. It doesn't matter. Either way. Fantastic city. City of tomorrow, folks. Today. And anytime now, Ram, you can come along and... Yes! Well then! I knew you could do it if you tried. Now I can stand up to Lubu. Ha ha ha! It was no problem at all. Just call me a military master. Sir, there's trouble. What is it, Guojia? Lubu's army is acting suspiciously. They may be planning to attack us here in Xuchang. What? We can't stand by and let them do such a thing. Liu Bei, your forces are ready. Take them into battle. Against our enemy. What? Actually, he and I don't really get along very well, so if it's all the same to you, I'd really rather you chose someone else to lead the attack against Lu Bu's army. What are you saying, Liu Bei? All the other officers have already been assigned to duty. You're the only one here. What? You mean that the only available officer is... You! I thought you might say that. Well, let's go then. To be continued in going to battle. Indeed, folks, it will be continued. And I need to think about coming up with 100 different Chinaman voices so that people will sound different from each other. But for right now, we've had a video on building stuff that helps your city, a video on building stuff to help you fight. The next videos, folks, I promise, they are going to be at least a little more exciting. And eventually I'll get to the dueling and debate tutorials, which might actually be fun. But you've got all that to look forward to, folks, so this is it for right now. This is Mysterious JG, asking you to be patient, thanking you for watching, and promising to see you next time.